you hear like a loud vibrating or whatever the case may be, it's her.
Now my mascara running red and it sticks more. Oh, he's so horny, yeah, he wants to fuck. Take all the key. I just wanna let you like
So, I asked y'all yesterday what 2 videos y'all wanted me to record. The most requested one was the creepy Uber driver story time, and the second one was the dyeing your 4C hair and what you need to know before doing it. So today we're going to be talking about creepy Uber driver. That was it. Like, let's jump right into it. So this day was the day after we had my Pop's funeral. It was after his funeral. So that night, after the funeral, I didn't end up going because I had overslept. So everybody ended up coming back to our house, most everybody, and they had like this little party thing. You know how black folks be after a funeral. They have the repast and then they have the after the repast. You want some of this? Can't have none of that. Everybody was over, but my mom had already told me I could go to this party that my aunt was throwing. Aunt/cousin. I was just chilling there for a minute, and I got the house together, you know, cleaned up. You know how black parents be. You gotta clean up before you can go anywhere. So I made sure I had the whole house clean or whatnot, and then I was getting ready to go to the party. I sat and chilled with the family for a little bit, and the party was starting like late that night, so I was like, oh, I ain't gonna be too worried about it. She was having like a little game night thing, you know, with the little game board. This was like earlier this year too. It was like with the little alcohol and weed game board or whatnot. And keep in mind, I'm the youngest person there. Everybody there is like grown or whatnot, but I'm with my aunt, so she's making sure like I ain't doing nothing I ain't supposed to be doing. You feel me? She ain't gonna let me get in no type of trouble or whatnot. I was gonna Uber to the party, but I didn't end up Ubering. My dad was like, well, why didn't you just tell nobody you needed a ride? I was like, everybody here partying and chilling. I didn't want to stop nobody. He was like, Brandon finna head that way anyway. Brandon is my stepbrother. So he was like, I'm gonna have him take you. I was like, okay. Brandon took me, dropped me off. We had a party. Like, anybody go sleep until like 3 o'clock. It was fun. It was fun. I ain't even get into all them details, but it was real fun, because if I get into them details, this is gonna be a longer story time than I expected it to be. You feel me? You good? Played and done almost got to fighting with a neighbor because they was just petty or whatnot. Like, it was just a lot going on. So the next morning, I didn't end up leaving right away. I left around, I'm gonna say around 4 o'clock. I stayed and chilled with the aunt that was throwing the party, not the other aunt that was monitoring me, the aunt that was throwing the party. I went and chilled with her for a little bit after we cleaned up the house and stuff. It wasn't like a big party. It was more like, it was probably no more than like 6-7 people there. My mom, she basically kept calling, checking on me, and I knew she kind of wanted me to come home, but didn't really want to like rush me, if you feel me. So I was just like, I'm just gonna call my Uber or whatnot. So she's like, okay. Here's red flag number 1 about this Uber thing. So Uber literally took like an hour to find me a driver, and that's saying something because we in the city of Atlanta. And then when they finally found me a driver, he kept getting lost. He kept calling for the gate code, which I gave him like 3 times. He was like, well, what is it again? But like, he kept forgetting the gate code. So then eventually he gets there and he gets in the neighborhood, and he's lost in the neighborhood, which is, and it's really not even no turns to get to the house. It's just a straight shot, but I can see how he got lost though, because it was a bunch of cars. So with that being said, that was already annoying me, because at this point I'm kind of like, you know how you be ready to go home, but you're not ready. Like, I wasn't really ready to just finish chilling, but I was ready to go home. Oh, it's Dragon Ball Super. When did that cut on? Oh yeah, that annoyed me, because I was like already ready to go home, but like wasn't really ready to go home, if you get what I mean. And he kind of looked annoyed when I first got to the car, but like not too much. I guess because I was talking to my aunt/cousin before I got in the car, so I guess he got annoyed by that. So I had all my bags and stuff, And then we in the car. So most of the car ride, it was silent. And then like, this is like a 20 to 25 minute ride. It wasn't long at all. And not too long before we were like inching up on my side of the town, that's when he wanted to start a conversation. Now, I don't really have no issues with Uber starting conversations, but I mean, it's still kind of iffy about it, you know, because I don't like talking to people, but I still talk. So we were just like, he had started small talk or whatnot. I can't remember what it started out about. He started talking about the rap girls in the industry and how they all rap about the same thing. And then I countered back with, well, the men rap about the same thing too. Like, everybody raps about the same thing. It's literally the same thing, but from two different point of views. So we were having a very intriguing conversation about that. Like, getting ready to turn down the street to go to my place. And so I'm looking at the window, and over here, I see my little sister on a bike a long way from home. And I'm just like, ma'am, what are you doing? Not the one that was in my other videos, the one that's right under me, the one that's, she's gonna be 13. And I'm just like, Miss Ma'am, excuse me, why are you all the way here? So I was like, excuse me, sir, can you stop for a second and roll down the window? He was like, no problem. So then I started, you know, being a big sister, like, Miss Ma'am, what are you doing? Why are you all the way down here? You're all the way at the store. This is not like a quick little ride. You're not even supposed to be out of the neighborhood. You're not really even supposed to be out of our little cul-de-sac, but here we are. You're all the way down the street. And the thing is, I knew nobody was home. That was also another thing. Like, it's different if I was home. I probably wouldn't have had no issue with it because I would have known where she was at. Nobody knew that she was at this store, and she also probably wasn't expecting me to be home soon. God, now I gotta be the mean sister. Going off on her like, you're not supposed to be here. Smart mouth. So she was just like, well, what you expect me to do with this, that? And I was like, well, you already here, so. And she wasn't by herself, so that's another reason why I wasn't too mad about it, because she was with the kids in the neighborhood. And I was like, well, you already here, so go ahead and get whatever you was finna get from the store, but that's it. Come back home. He's like, okay. And then I told him, you can roll back up the window and keep going. I had apologized. I was like, I'm sorry for you know, stopping the ride like that. I know that wasn't part of your plans. And other, you probably got like a bunch of other things on your queue you gotta do. Like, I'm sorry. He was like, no problem. He was like, we need more people and siblings like you. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, that like actually care about their younger sibling, trying to keep active, keep involved, make sure they're safe and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I mean, like, we live in the city of Atlanta. She's a little black girl. On top of that, we live by the airport. Y'all know what goes on to little black girls in the city of Atlanta by the airport. It's sex trafficking going on. So I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to make sure my sister is straight. I love my little sisters. As annoying as they are, I love them. And then we somehow got back to our conversation about like girls in the industry and Megan Thee Stallion and stuff like that. And by this point, I'm seeing we're like 3 houses away from my house, and the conversation doesn't seem like it's coming to a halt. So maybe I'm thinking like, okay, a lot of Ubers, that happens often. Like, a lot of Ubers, they'll be like, they'll keep going in conversation, but then start nipping it in a bud. Maybe like, it'll be done 30 seconds after arriving to my house. That's normal. Gives me enough time to like gather all my things, get out the car. It didn't take me that long because I was already gathering my things while I was talking to my sister, because I'm literally like a minute away from my house. So when we pull up to my house, I'm looking in the driveway. Ain't nobody there, and that already annoyed me. I was like, maybe, hopefully somebody's home by now. No. He's like still talking to me, this, that, and the other, and I'm like really not liking it. You know how most when you're in an Uber, they'll look at you through the mirror to talk to you and do the eye contact thing. He goes from looking at me through the mirror to like he turned around and did a whole 180. I'm just like, okay, maybe he just, I don't know, but okay. So he just kept the conversation going. Like, I'm trying everything to end the conversation. He's trying everything to keep the conversation going. So at this point, when he turns around, I'm start looking at my surroundings like, okay, there's my neighbors are outside, stuff like that. So okay, I'm straight. And then I look at his doors, and I didn't notice it when I first got in the car. His doors did not have no locks on the inside. if you know what I mean. It was one of them older cars where like you could not pull it up or push the button of it or move a knob. Like you couldn't do anything to get out. There was no lock there. It was just the doorknob and the button to roll up and down the windows, but there was no lock. So like if I wanted to jump out the car, I could not. This man had not unlocked the car either. So I'm just like, what's going on here? At this point I'm alert. I'm very alert. I already have high anxiety. So at this point my anxiety is starting to get to me because, so you're being creepy and you ain't let me out this car yet. He keeps the conversation going. He takes off his seatbelt, and in this moment I'm like, huh? But keep in mind, I also have my my boyfriend. He had the thing, like when I get in Ubers, I send it to him because it'll be like, do you want to send it to Jalil? I guess because that's this person I talk the most, but it'll automatically ask me, do I want to send this trip to him? So I sent it to him. So he knows, like he knows what the Uber look like, this, that, and the other. And a lot of Ubers do not even know that that is a feature. Yes, it's a feature. They have safety features, trust and believe. So he was like still keeping the conversation going, and it's like really like creeping me out at this point. But yeah, he takes his seatbelt off. So why are you taking your seatbelt off? Like, I'm really freaked out. And he's like reposition his entire self on, like, to turn around, like peep out, like just like this. And at this point I grab my bag and I sit it on my lap, because what are you doing, sir? And it really started freaking me out at this point. We've been in my house for like 5 minutes. You still don't let me out this car. And I didn't want to like say nothing like, well, can you let me out this car? And be like, it provokes him or anything like that. Like, I was really trying to like not be in a terrible situation. Because like if I would have said that, what if he would have tried to do something to me or hurt me? Or what if he would have drove off? Like, I don't have time for that. Oh yeah, it's a black man, by the way. He black. He can't be no taller than like 5'10", skinny, like 5 o'clock shadow that don't even connect. He looked like he got to be in his 40s or 50s. He's just keeping the conversation going, and I'm just trying everything. And I don't even know if he realized it. He probably did, but he just has like this, like, I have, my voice is like, when I'm talking to him, it's starting to like shake and crack at this point, because like my anxiety is really going. I'm having a whole anxiety attack, and it's not one of them bad ones. Like when I have anxiety attacks, they don't really get too bad unless something is like really getting to me, or if it's been lasting for a long time, then it will start getting like progressively bad. At this point, it's just like my voice is shaking and my heart is pounding, and I'm tapping my leg because I want to get out of this car. He's looking at me, right? And I'm keeping eye contact on him. He like grazes his eyes over me. I'm just like, I get so disgusted by that. Like, I don't understand. I can't explain it, but it's just like the way he looked at me. Like he was checking my body out, and he was just looking at me up and down, and it creeped me out. When I tell you, I wanted to start crying at that moment because I felt so disgusted and so violated. And he had this like creepy look in his eye and this disgusting smile on his face, and I was just so ready to go. I want to get this car. And I was texting my boyfriend at the time, but when the car stopped, I had stopped texting him because I'm ready to walk in the house or whatnot. So at this point, I'm starting to like lace my keys through my fingers. Like, let me get my keys. This right here, this is my keychain. Same keychain I had back then. It's a little more items on here now, but still. So I had 2 keys on my ring. One of them really don't need to be there, but after that incident, I decided to keep it. 1 key ring right here, 1 key right here. Like if I need to like stab you, sir, I will. And I had my mace. Like at this point, it was open, and it was like turned open. Like if you get too close to me, sir, you're gonna get hurt. But I'm doing all this underneath my bag. Remember, I said I put my bag on my lap. Doing all this underneath my bag because I don't need him seeing this and like what are you doing? Like, stuff like that. So he had this smile, and it just did not sit right with me. It just made me feel so uncomfortable. And he just keeps going and keeps going, and I'm just yeah. While I have my keys and my mace laced through my hand like that, I also got this around my wrist to make sure it's still there. I picked my phone back up. I wasn't gonna do it like out the blue. I had a strategy. Like, I made sure like I had turned my ringer back on so that if I get a notification, he could hear it. So the next time I got a notification, I picked it up. It was an Instagram notification, but I made it seem like it was a text message. So I went in my messages and I texted my boyfriend, and I was like, hey yo, this dude won't let me out his car. He did not text me back. It annoyed me. I was like, I need your help right now. Like, I was like, can you call my phone? Like, that's what I said. I was like, he did not text me back. Can you call my phone? He was in the shower. He was in the shower. Ugh. I guess he decided to get in the shower because the thing notified him that I hadn't made it home. But the thing is, it may have said I made it home, but it never said that my ride ended. So about 20 minutes into the ride, Uber texted me. Like, Uber, they sent me a text and a notification through the app, and they're just like, you've been sitting in the area for a while, are you okay? And he was like, and it was like, your ride hasn't ended, are you okay? And I pressed the thing like, well, he ain't done nothing to me, this, that, and the other, and I'm right here at my house, so technically I am okay. I'm just freaked out. So I was like, guess I'm okay. And then it asked me again, like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. So about 5 minutes after that, at this point, I'm sitting outside of my house. I had been sitting outside my house for 30 minutes. Also, my sister had not come back yet. So eventually, he's like, he's basically, the conversation we're having, he's trying to hit on me, basically. And he's just like, well, I like the type of head you have on your shoulders, and I like the way you carry yourself, and you seem like a very poised and elegant girl, and that's the type of lady I'm into. Do you mind if I get your number? And I was like, no sir, no sir. He was like, well, all right, thanks for riding and have a nice day. He finally unlocked the car. So when I got the car, I made sure I got everything, and when I started walking up the driveway, I realized the reason he finally let it go was because my little sister was coming back from the store with the rest of the kids in the neighborhood. See? I get in the house, and my little sister, she coming right after me. She was like, you straight? I was like, I'm a little shaken up. Or why? She was like, what happened? So I told her the whole thing that happened. She was like, oh no. I was like, yeah. And then I went back and going off of her. I was like, I've been told you to come home. I was like, what took you forever? She was like, I got what I wanted in this long. Everybody else did this, that, and the other. I was like, yeah, right, whatever. I had, at that point, my mama had called me, and I gave her like a little gist of what what just happened, but like not the full thing. I couldn't really give her the full thing. So I was just like, I'll take you when you get home. And then I called my boyfriend. I'm frantic at this point. I'm just going mouth motor, going 15 miles per hour. He's like, I need you to calm down, slow down, because you talk too fast. I don't know what you're saying. But yeah, so like I eventually tell him everything, and he talks to me a bit and like gets me to calm down, because I was like really freaked out and my voice was still shaky, and I was pretty much on the verge of crying at that point. I don't know how I held them tears in that car, but I did. And yeah, that was that. One of the scariest moments of my life. I done had some scary moments, but that right there was, ooh-wee. That right there was too creepy. I don't know. Let's see if I can go on an Uber and find his name. Oh, I did report him. I reported him. I did a whole little report on him and everything. Like, no. Y'all need to stop letting him be in y'all's system. This was May 16th. His name is Kevin. And it don't show his face on here no more, unfortunately. But his name was Kevin, so. His name was Kevin. And he was very creepy. I'm 100% sure he could tell I wasn't too young. Like I don't look no older than like 20 something. So I know, you know, that I'm underage. So, but yeah, that's it. I have another video coming next week, and I'm also going to be vlogging tomorrow because I have a Halloween party. Now, also, I want to state that, you know, this is Autism Awareness Month. I already did a video on that. You can go see the beginning of my other video to get more information on Autism Awareness Month. But, you know, Halloween is approaching. Halloween is what, Sunday? And a lot of people do their Halloween festivities all throughout this weekend. We'll be doing it. If you see a blue pumpkin or a blue bag or most of like something pertaining to blue on a child and they just seem like they're not out of it, they don't really want to talk to you, this, that, and the other, do not feel discouraged. Do not get upset. Do not think they're rude. They are a child with autism, specifically if they have a blue pumpkin. They just need a little more time. They may not speak to you. They may not even want to talk to you or look at you, but don't be rude to them. They just, you know, they're a kid with autism. They need a little more encouragement. You feel me? Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I post every week, and what do I say? I see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.